Alright, so back with the Sage and Exotic podcast. We are sorry if the last podcast offended any of you or thought it was going to get taken down, which I am going to keep it up. We are going to keep it up. But what is going to change is that we're not going to talk about political stuff anymore. It's mainly going to be all gaming topics and stories on what has happened in our little time on this world. That's cheesy, I don't really give a shit, but okay. So we're going to be talking about 3 topics, and we're always going to be talking about 3 topics in these podcasts. First one's always going to be a news topic, which is, for today, it is going to be the Minecraft update, the Caves and Cliffs update. The second one we are going to be doing is a gaming topic, which our game today is going to be Pokemon Go. We're going to be talking about as in the additions to the game and other aspects of what has changed. And then the third one is probably going to be the most entertaining portion, is the story time. And we got... So today's going to be very... not educational, but... Because, yeah, Minecraft is not educational. But it is educational because they have an educational Minecraft series.
True.
But, yeah, so let's go ahead and start it off with the news topic, the Minecraft update. What are your thoughts on it?
Okay, so the Minecraft update... I was a little surprised because the Nether update was not too long ago, and they just came out with another...
This is coming... This is just the topic of it. It's going to come out next summer.
So, it's expected to come out in 2021, next summer, and I think that it's really, really good, but the only thing I don't like about it is the monster that 2-hits someone that's full diamond.
It's actually netherite, and it is unenchanted netherite. It's called the Warden, and it cannot see you, but it goes based on sound.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. I'm probably not ever going to go into a cave again, so I'm just going to ask for diamonds.
Yeah, but the only good thing about the Warden that it spawns below Y level 13, or in that range, at the lower level near bedrock. And other things that have popped up in the Cliffs, Caves and Cliffs update is wireless redstone. I'm not much of a redstone person myself, but people like Mumbo Jumbo are really going to have an amazing time with that wireless redstone, knowing that you can actually direct the movement of the sound waves by using wool on the sensor blocks. You have any thoughts on the sensor blocks?
You know, I don't even know how to hook up a redstone circuit, so I'll just stick to building tutorial farms and houses.
And with the building topics, there's going to be probably about 20, 30 new... No, that's way too many blocks. Probably about 10 to 15 new blocks that are going to be added to the game. And the geodes. I'm a little surprised. Because the only thing you can do with those is make crystals. And crystals are only used for telescope, which is crystals and copper. I don't really understand why they added copper with only one purpose, to make a telescope. And the telescope's honestly terrible because no one's ever going to bring that with them. It's just more of an aesthetic type thing to the game. But the copper, with its unique capability of turning green over time, I honestly think that's pretty cool. And how you can actually, not known yet, but you can actually keep it in its semi-green state. Semi-orange, semi-green state whenever it's placed as a block. Don't know how, don't know when we'll learn about that, but that's a pretty cool feature.
I don't know if you guys know, but B-Dubs is making a castle behind his base, and he's using blocks that look like copper and are turning green like copper, and I feel like Minecraft is stalking B-Dubs a little bit with that, because now he's going to have some fresh copper to use for his house or his castle, and he won't have to just use random blocks that look like copper, and yeah. So.
And on the Cliff side of the update, they added brand new generation. They're finally adding the goats, which are pretty nice new mob. Knowing that they can jump 3 or 4 blocks in the air and just ram other animals. Not gonna lie, be a pretty good mob farm if you could just use goats and just have it in a glass box. Just goats ramming into zombies randomly and just getting loot from that. Which is kind of not that significant of a update portion of the Clays and Cliffs update, but it's mainly mainly focused on the cave side of the update. Very little to the mountains in comparison to the caves, which I'm excited about because yeah, definitely a needed update.
We've been asking for a cave update for a long time now, and they finally did it. And I was also surprised that the guy that was running the entire thing was the guy that made the Aether mod back in the OG Minecraft days. I thought that was pretty cool. Just wanted to say that.
Is there anything else in the Minecraft portion? I think we talked about most of the main updates. I don't think there are not that many new mechanics in the game that have changed or going to change. We slightly looked into it. I've seen a few videos on it. Not really much is known about the Cave and Cliffs update other than very aesthetic type things. So, should we move on to the second portion?
Pokemon Go?
Yes, so we're going to be listing and talking about the Pokemon Go season change.
Seasonal autumn update. And so
It's not an update, it's an addition.
Yeah. So
it's a set of challenges which are very easy and for some reason repeatable. So you can do them multiple times over and over and over again, but each time it's a different challenge, different rewards. I don't know how long it's going to go for. It only lasts for about a week, which is actually pretty nice. And I ended up having the second one, which is use 3 pineapple berries, Razzes, and Nana berries. I already got 2 of them done, but I didn't have any Nana berries, because no one ever has Nana berries, because they're a useless berry. Unless using it on your buddy, which is honestly kind of the only use for a Nana berry, or to stop the Pokemon from jumping like a madman.
So what comes with this update is a new Pokemon. It's a new variant that has been added into the game for
Or has
the
it always
autumn.
been in? No, I think it's always been in it. It's just a seasonal thing that happens. It's
never
the
happens.
Deerling.
It's the Deerling autumn form.
And its
not the
evolution...
best form.
Yeah,
Its
definitely not.
evolution
Definitely not. The
looks-
winter version honestly looks the best with the white tufts around its neck.
It definitely does. Does
But
look good in the game.
The autumn version probably, I would say, is the second best with the droopy tree antlers.
So what Pokemon says is, as the seasons change, the Pokemon change, and there's going to be berry-themed events, and there's going to be Pokemon with hats, like Krogunk with a backwards cap.
Which I have 3 of, and Exotic does not have any.
I haven't played. Also, Smoochum with a top hat.
Did not know that.
Not a top hat, a bow tie.
Did not know that.
What else?
There was... I don't know. There was another special Pokemon. No, it might have been the Deerling.
The field research for this month will be the Smoochum with the bow ties and the stuff with the hats on that are pretty rare. And if you get one of those shinies, that's going to be very, very rare.
And one of the more newer types of challenge sets, which I don't know what it's called. What is it called, my guy?
It's called, like, Season Change or something.
No, it's the actual one in the...
It's not new.
It's been, like, added within the last month. It's the one that gives the Vinci. I definitely said that wrong, but it's the Pokemon
Victini.
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 Victini. Yeah, definitely
Victini.
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 Victini. All right. It is the Pokemon with the red V-shaped ears. It's very cute Pokemon, very small Pokemon, and I'm glad they actually added that because it's a legendary Pokemon and it looks kind of nice.
They didn't just add it; they actually had it for 3 years in the game. So.
And they're just not bringing it to Pokemon Go because
they've had it in Pokemon Go for 3 years.
Really?
Yes.
They had a challenge set for it.
That's just the same challenge set that they had 3 years ago, added back into the game.
That's nice to know because I did not know that.
It's not new.
Well, it was added
7
back.
has the shiny.
I don't give a shit.
Okay, so the date and time of the event is today, October 9th, or whenever you're watching this, it's October 9th. Today until a week in advance, October 12th, it's not really a week, but a couple days. And it's, only about 4-5 5. I don't want to do math right nowadays. And so it's not lasting for long, but you can get some good Pokemon out of this, some good berries and crap out of this.
And the special bonuses that come with Pokemon Go, I really like how it is a 1/4 hatch distance for hatching eggs.
Speaking of all of these...
And Idiot Exotic Mower thought it was only down by 1/4, not 1/4 of the total amount.
I'm an idiot.
That's because you didn't understand what I was saying, I don't think.
So, the features that come with this update is your berries are, I'm pretty sure, twice as effective when you give them to your buddy Pokemon. So, like, if you have a Pokemon that you want to get boosts on with candy by feeding it, like, Poffins or whatever, if you use the Poffin, then it will do twice as much and go up. Or if you use a Raspberry, which usually does 2 bars, it'll go up to 4 bars instead. If you spend, what was it? You will see these Pokemon in the wild a lot more. Oddish, Vulpix, Bayleaf, Hoot, Sudowoodo, Yanma, Pineco, Zigzagoon, Seedot, Shroomish, and Plant Cloak, Burmy, and Fungus. And if you're lucky, you're going to encounter a shiny Vulpix.
Which, the Shadow variant of...
Shadow Shiny would be amazing.
Oh, that would be amazing. What is the second evolution of Vulpix? I completely forgot the name.
Ninetales.
Yeah, Ninetales. The Shadow Ninetales looks nice. Like, it is very, very nice looking. Along with... Have you ever caught a Shadow Houndoom?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, yeah, okay. They look... It has to be the best Shadow-looking Pokemon ever. No doubt. Best Shadow Pokemon.
You're forgetting, some shiny Shadow legendary birds.
Okay, I don't really care about the shiny Shadows. The Moltres might look really good as a shiny Shadow.
You know what looks really good? Shiny Shadow Lapras.
Oh, yeah.
Pink Lapras, red eyes, it looks amazing. So... Autumn-themed Pokemon will be hatching from 5km eggs. I'm hatching 2km eggs.
And with the 5km eggs, with the 1/4 hatch distance, I'm pretty sure it equals out to 0.5 of a km, which is, I think, close to 70% of a, not 70%, but 0.75 of a mile. I'm not sure about that. Not very sure about that. But more around that. It's more than probably about 1 to 1.2 miles, maybe. Probably not. But I don't really know conversions like that.
Of a mile.
Of a mile. Because I am stupid and I don't know how to talk. So.
So these special Pokemon that will be in the wild, we already talked about Deerling. It looks beautiful as a starter. Don't know if it can be shiny. I don't know if the shiny's in the game. If it is, and Mystic 7 probably already has it. Yeah. So there is, in some countries, there would be a lot more shadow Pokemon because the leaves are turning red or something, some stupid crap like that.
But with the blimps that they added a while ago, the Pokemon that come out of them recently have been amazing. Today, I think I ended up getting 2 Shadow Ninetales, and I got a overpowered Hitmonlee out of a blimp that started out at a 900 CP 3-star Shadow variant. And I have not purified it yet, but I will be trying to purify that after I get the CP almost to its max, which will be 2,200, or at that range. It'll cost a lot.
Stardust.
Yes, I think over 200,000 Stardust is required for that. But I will be grinding for the Tyro Candy to evolve that, or purify that whenever it happens. And to power up, still. The Pokemon are overpowered.
So the last thing that comes with this Yes, October. It's October. The last thing that comes with this October update is also some spooky stuff. So some hats and some crap like that, some fashion themed stuff. There's also Community Day this month. It is Charmander, which is very exciting.
And I'm excited to get both the evolutions of the Y and X variant of the shiny.
Mega shiny.
Yeah, mega
X
shiny,
and
mega
Y.
shinies. Because I think the X is more of a rainbow style, while the Y is blue. I'm more excited about the X and the blue, because they're both really nice shinies. And I definitely don't have enough energy candy, so they're going to have to come out with some raids again.
More of the X looks like a whole bunch of random colors. The body looks like diarrhea. You know. Don't, you know.
And I have not seen a single Houndoom Mega Raid, which I am disappointed, because I would love to see a mega Houndoom, because I would love to have one of those things. It looks insane. Okay. Yeah, the X variant looks like shit.
Yeah, but I like the green and the turquoise and the blue.
Now,
and
what
the
does
red.
the Y look like?
The Y actually does look like. Let me just look it up for you real quick. So, Shiny Charizard Y.
Okay, that looks absolutely insane. It is a more of like a purplish black kind of color.
Yeah, it's still like bluish. You're adding blue to black, but barely any blue. So it's just a lighter black. It also looks purple.
And it looks insane.
Iconic red
overall.
Wings, the iconic fire on the back.
Nice deep red wings with the
red eyes.
Yeah,
you know? It looks amazing.
yeah. I'm excited for that Community Day.
The Charizard by itself also looks amazing. The red and the black. Overall, the Community Day is going to be so fire. Porygon Day, I ended up getting about 20 shinies.
That was combined with me and Exotic.
Just me.
You ended up getting 20?
I think I did.
I'm pretty sure we both... No, you had less than me. I had about 13.
I ended up getting more. After we went to Miami Junior, I started getting some in the car while your phone was dead.
That is true. That is true. My phone is terrible. Battery does not last. Should we end off with should we end off with the Pokemon topic and go to the third?
Yeah, we pretty much talked about everything with the Pokemon Go topic.
There probably are a few things that we're forgetting, but we don't really know what they are, so yeah. And we're still wanting suggestions in the comments instead of just flaming us on how we need to take down this video, because YouTube is going to take it down for us. But the story time
topic.
Yeah, the story time topic is going to be us building our PCs and the process of building a PC. So, do you want to start off with your journey of building a PC?
What I did first was I wrote down a list of what I needed for my PC, which is a lot of stuff.
I mean, overall it becomes very expensive. You need a case, a processor, RAM, SSD, or a hard drive, which is your memory.
You also get both.
Well, actually, no.
Hard drive's not your memory. It's your drive to put stuff on.
Well, yes. The RAM is the memory. You have to buy the motherboard. And is there anything else that is required to build a PC?
Well, you should get a graphics card.
Yes, only if you're gaming. If not, you don't have to. It will improve it will improve your monitor, I think. I don't know. It may improve the running rate.
It improves the graphics. You dumb fuck.
Yes, I am a dumb fuck. And
so yeah, like my journey was I wrote down the stuff and then I started buying it. Least amount of money to greatest amount of money, and then I went ahead and started buying my stuff. I still don't have everything. Sage over here has his PC built. He just needs Windows 10 for it.
And for some reason, Microsoft thinks it's a good idea to make people buy Windows for $150 with an antivirus added along with it, which is honestly not that bad of a addition, but honestly I still think it's a little too expensive. Without the antivirus, it's about $90, which may or may not be worth it. No, here's the thing. Your internet company may or may not have a antivirus with it. You've anything else to say, Mikey?
Not about the PC build process because I don't have mine built yet.
But tell them your process of saving the money for it. Like, how do you get your money?
I did all my money from doing chores around the house, mostly heavy lifting chores around, like, outside. We had this tree that we cut down in our backyard, and I had to haul all the wood over to our, like, burn pile. It was a lot of wood. I had to do it. So
basically, manual work for money gets us
Pretty
money
much.
for our computers, which me, on the other hand, I'm basically in debt now because I have to make all that money back because I got all my stuff at the same time, and I didn't have the money nor all the chores done to gain that money to buy the PC, like, separately. But
I'm pretty much you earned your money from just mowing grass.
yeah, but I haven't done enough for it. First off, it was a $600 PC by Toasty Bros with a little bit of customization in between it.
He's getting
and
a
it actually
graphics
it actually ended up being $800 in total, which is a little more over our price range, but overall I think the outcome of it, being able to produce videos or better stream quality along with other things that will improve our channels, like, drastically.
So what we both have to get is Windows 10, and you know how we're getting Windows 10? So
we
have another story to tell about how we got this $150 for Windows 10 that we are buying tomorrow.
And we are going to talk about that after the PC building process, which ties into the PC building process, only because, yeah, it's a piece of the PC, but it's a subtopic of the PC building process.
So when you build your PC,
that has nothing to do with building a PC, but still.
The first thing to building a PC is you want to get your stuff unpackaged.
The first thing is to make sure it's all compatible.
Yeah, but that's just, you have to do that
online, but still.
That's not building your PC. That's just getting all your parts that you need.
That is true.
You should just go to Toasty Bros channel, get it.
And an issue with my compatibility not my compatibility, but my computer has a compatibility issue. So I have our external RGB fans. They need a 4-prong RGB cable, but 3-prong actually, and I have a 4-prong. So it is not that. It does not work as intended, and I cannot use the external RGB fans. And I really want to, but tomorrow this is gonna so I'm gonna move this this is going to talk about that's a piece that I have, but I need to change it for a different piece. And we're going to be talking more about the pieces that we don't have or are missing with the tree story, kind of.
Did we even talk about how to build a PC?
No, but that is what we're talking about right now.
So, you want to get your motherboard out first. Lay it on the motherboard box, usually. Just set it down.
Be very, very gentle, because if you...
The parts bend very easily. You can mess up a...
prong, then you have to buy a completely new motherboard. It is a very delicate process.
So,
other than shoving the RAM right into the hole.
That's the easiest thing, but also it's pretty... you can break it still. So the first step I do is I put my motherboard down. I get my Ryzen or whatever you use for your CPU. So you wanna undo the thing where the processor goes. It's a square.
Yeah. There's going to be 2 arrows, one on the processor and one on your motherboard.
You want to match the arrow on the processor to the one on the motherboard, pointing the same direction. You want to just lay it down. Don't force it down at all. Just
pressure, because on the back of the processor there are about 100 to a lot of prongs, and if one bends, the PC won't work.
They're pins.
Pins. Same thing. Not really.
So,
yes.
If you bend, they bend very easily. Probably the most easily thing to bend on your entire PC. If you bend those, you're pretty much ruined. $170 down the drain, pretty much usually if you get a Ryzen 7. So you want to just lay it in there, and if it doesn't go in straight away, just move it around a little bit until it
and it should go right into place.
Drops into place.
And after that, there's going to be a lever to press it down for you, so you don't have to apply any force. After that, you're probably going to want to put your CPU cooler on top of that, which I'm not going to go into much detail. After that, you could do...
No, dude, you gotta go into detail.
No, it's basically you put it on top of it and screw it in.
No, so
and then you do have to plug it into the motherboard.
What you want to do also is you want to put this paste called thermal paste on top.
Do that beforehand.
Of the CPU.
Before you put the CPU.
On top of the CPU. And then you want to put the fan on top and then screw it down into the motherboard where the screws are. It's self-explanatory. And then after that, usually I just do the SSD because it doesn't matter what order you're doing it, but you screw in the SSD. It's super easy. You just plug it in.
There are two types of SSDs. There's not really an external, but there's an SSD that doesn't plug onto your motherboard, and there's one that does. The one that doesn't uses a SATA cable to plug into your motherboard with an external cable. But there is one that plugs right into your motherboard, which was pretty easy to find and very easy to assemble. But after that, you can apply your RAM by undoing 2 latches on the side and pushing down on that RAM stick.
Pretty much. You just want to shove some sticks into a motherboard and you're good.
Yeah, that is true. Is that it for...
Kind of force it in.
Do not do any... actually, no. Next thing you're going to want to do is probably attach your motherboard into your case.
You're going to want to attach the wires.
But you're going to want to put your thing in the case.
No, you don't want to put your motherboard in the case until you have your power supply in there already.
That is true, because you do need your power supply first. But you can still plug in your motherboard either way, before or after. It doesn't matter.
The motherboard's delicate.
It just makes it easier, because that's where all your cables are for your power source. Get to plug into your motherboard.
Do your power supply first, because it's super easy. Just slides in, screws in.
But what I would suggest
and then it's going to be delicate to do your motherboard, and then you're going to have to move it around to put the thing in anyways,
So what I would suggest is to put in your motherboard, screw it in, don't mess with any of the cables. No, actually, no. Plug in all the cables that you can, then deal with your external SSDs if you have any extra, your hard drives. I would probably do your graphics card last, because that requires one external cable to plug onto your motherboard, with plugging in your motherboard to your graphics card into your motherboard, because there's 2 different areas you will connect it to your motherboard for. And then there's a panel on the back where you have to unscrew and rescrew. It's just basically where your monitor cables will go to attach your graphics card instead of your motherboard. No, you're a back panel. No, actually, we forgot about the first thing you always do before building a PC case. There's a panel on the back of your keyboard that will have all your jacks and stuff. With the cables for your monitors and stuff. There's a little panel on the back, little metal piece, where there are a few USB ports there. That's where you would normally plug in your monitors and stuff. You do have 2 USB ports on the top of your case, like 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure they're called USB 3 ports. Probably not, but I'm just talking
USC
about
ports?
US 3.
USA, USB, USC.
USA. That the banking company. But but after that, you should plug in all your stuff. There isn't really much else to do, but other than moving on to our the semi portion of transitioning into the building a PC and the tree story. So what it was is that my computer, I already had mine pre-built.
You also want to do cable management.
True.
The most annoying part of it.
It does make your PC look 10 times better. But with the booting up the computer, I had it built. I plugged into a monitor, and whenever it came up, it was saying, "Please insert boot media." And we did not know what boot media was. It took us about a month to figure out what it was, and then we realized it may or may not be Windows. And so what happens was, we don't have the money to buy Windows, because it is $150, so it's relatively expensive. And so the way we got the money or someone could buy it.
No one's going in.
Was we had to dig up a
someone's
Japanese maple tree from the front yards of my grandparents' house.
It's not a Japanese. Okay, yeah.
Japanese maple.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We dug up a Japanese maple out of the front yard of my grandparents' house, which is why we're spending 2-3 days here. Also, because family's going mountain hiking, I think. Ish type thing. I don't really know what I'm talking about. Because it's, yeah, already 30 minutes, and you're probably not watching it this far, but okay. Unless you're Chad, so.
If you're watching it this far, comment. Gay Bowser. GAYBOWER. Wait, never mind.
Just type it like he said it, and you will know.
Gay Bowser. Like, I'm not even okay.
So what we did was it was a painstaking process. It took us 2 days to dig it up and transfer it. So the first day we spent about half an hour to an hour digging around it, and then we watered it to loosen up the dirt. The next day we came back to it. The dirt was way easier to dig, to dig up. And then we used a winch and chain to pull the tree out of the ground. And then we used a wheelbarrow. No, not a wheelbarrow. It's a wagon to transfer it from the front yard to the backyard. we had to dig a hole in the backyard, which didn't really take that long. And we had to replant it, yes, which took way too long. Because, yeah, I didn't want to do it because it was after dinner we had to plant it. Because, yeah, no one wants to do anything after dinner. Well, we got most of it done before dinner, and then we had to, like, plant dirt back on top of the tree, or the root system, so, yeah, like that. But after that, we, are going to go to get Best Buy tomorrow to ask a few questions to the people who are probably in customer management, or I don't know, probably not called that.
Tech support.
Techie support. How may I help you? And we're going to see what we need to do in order to fix the boot media issue, and if it really is the Windows. And if not, and if it is, we're going to buy it online, or